Hello and welcome to Gunnar Weisskamp's Web Development. Today is lesson 13, Angular Filters. So today we look at Angular's built-in filters. We will look at is number, lowercase, uppercase, limit to, and currency. So if you want to build today's app, just here in A, I'm using 2013. Do new project, then here in B just select the correct framework there. Doesn't necessarily have to be the correct framework, but here we just want an empty project, no MVC, nothing else like that, so just an empty project. Okay, so let's bring up Visual Studio. Here we go. So you can see here on our right I've installed Angular in my scripts folder, and I've put my own Angular script in here as well. So Angular is installed, and we have add in one HTML page. So here in my scripts folder we've just put in some basic Angular code, a controller, and our app, our Angular module app. Here in our HTML page we can see referencing Angular and my script correctly, so it'll work. We've introduced the ng app process here as well, and we've introduced the correct controller here as well. So we're all ready to go. Well, let's grab some code. And yes, let's grab this. I got loads of code here. Yeah, got so much code you won't believe it. Okay, all right, here we go. So, come on. That's going to be our Angular code, and this is our HTML. Let me save all that. So over here on our right, we've just got our scope variable here with a small lowercase a. Another scope variable here for uppercase B. And here we have our first Angular filter. You notice it's being called via this Angular API, and what all this does is it's going to lowercase this b here to a small b. Here in our library in Angular you can see there are more items that you can call, like the isNumber, which we're going to demonstrate, the isDate. You can use this one to see if the input is a date. There's loads more in there. Here's the uppercase, and obviously this is going to uppercase this a value here. We've got another scope variable here, and he's going to be used over in our HTML, which I shall show you now. So the two differences here we're going to talk about is how filters are called. This one's called here of the Angular API. Here we've got our other one, our other filter. It's called limit to, and this is called within the HTML of the page. What does the limit to do? It limits the information. Sorry, let me start again. When calling these sort of filters, you have to use first the value that you want to affect, and in this case it's this limit data here. We want to do some magic on this variable here. Then you use the pipe symbol, and then you use the filter, and in this case again, sorry, it's the limit to filter. Now what does the limit to filter do? It's pretty straightforward. It limits the amount of characters that this variable can hold. In this case, this variable can only hold 3 characters. Yeah, there we go. So what we are doing here with this is just simple expressions, and we're just going to show that these letters have been uppercased and lowercased. Here, so here in our input text box, we're going to type information here. This information will be transferred into our limit data, which will be transferred over here. And we can see while we're going to type in here that the magic will happen correctly. Let's save everything and bring up our page. Let's refresh. Ta-da, there we go. You can see the A has gone to uppercase and the B has gone to lowercase. So that part of the magic has worked. Now if we type N, we can see here our limit data expression being updated. Now if I type another character in here, this will not receive any more characters. See? Because its limit to has been set to 3 characters. So pretty straightforward stuff in that sense. The big thing understanding here is how filters can be called in different ways, like here in our HTML and through the Angular API here. Okay, let's grab the next bit of code. Oh, okay, so here we go. Come on. Save all that. Okay, let's start with our Angular code. So over here on our right, what have we done? That's always a good question. Am I missing something? I think I'm missing something. We'll find out. Sorry, I'm not too sure. We're introduced a function here. What this function is going to do is it takes in a number, and then with my talented appropriate naming terminology there, we should call that something valid. Yeah, it's not really appropriate. BB is not a good naming convention. Okay. So what this does here, it's in JavaScript. Sorry, because this is coming in via a text box, any information you put in this text box will always come through here, in here, as text. Even if you put a number in here, or you put the letter A, they both regard it as text in here. So it'll be a string, if you know what that is. So what this guy does, he will, if this is a number, the text number, then he will parse that and check for that, and then that result ends back in here. Then we use the isNone to see if this was actually a valid number or if it was a letter. If it was not a valid number, then we pass back false, and then Angular isNumber is used to validate that again, and we pass back true here. The more I look at this, the more I wonder what isNumber does, because JavaScript and it's clunky. It's the way you first got to deal with numbers in JavaScript. It doesn't really lend. This whole process could be written better. I'm just looking at myself there and making a self-criticism. But anyway, so by this stage, this should be a number, and the Angular isNumber takes it in, and this should then change to true. And you should then see this come up as true. So over here in our HTML, it's pretty straightforward. We're calling the function here, and it's passed this model item here, and we shall all see if this works now. I'm not a big fan of the Angular isNumber process, to be fair. So if we put in A, that's false, yay. If we put in 1, it's true. So we can validate information coming through. I'll be blunt with you, we already know it's true here, because this process here. So I don't know if there's a better way of demonstrating this to you. But anyway, that's the self-criticism. I'm not afraid to say if code can be written better. Alright, enough of that. Let me show you the last piece of demo. This is a bit more groovy. This is the currency guy. HTML is there. Right, okay, so on our right here we've got just a simple array with name, salary, variables in there. All this is in JSON format, obviously. Over here in our right, we're going to show a table of that information. So name, salary. We're using the ng repeat to show that information. I have done ones on ng repeat before. The big difference here is the currency filter. What this will do, well, let's take it out first. What will it do? Oops, let's save everything. This guy is pretty neat. It's pretty easy to introduce. So there we can see, just our salary comes through, but with no, not that you can see that it's currency, but in here, because it's salary, it'd be good to have a dollar symbol or something like that in front of it. So that's what the currency filter does. So this one works like another filter we just talked about. You got your pipe symbol there and the currency comes up. Let's save that. Let's refresh. Ta-da! And it was formatted that value into more, well, a currency with the dollar symbol. You can change that to different currencies as well, but I'll let you guys have a play with that and get your head around it. Okay, so that's a few filters that we've talked about. The next one I'm going to do, so filters can be quite useful. The next one I'm going to do is custom filters, and once you get to learn how to build your own, you can get a bit more understanding of the power of them. Alright, thanks for your time, and I hope this has been of some help.